Sorry I've been away for 2 weeks. I still have bronchitis. Hi, everybody. Welcome back. I hope you're doing well. I'm doing okay. I wish I was doing better, but I figured a 2-week hiatus from Lost My Ducks season 3 episode No Idea. I thought the 2-week hiatus was long enough, and I'm like, okay, I gotta record this like 3 days before the 3-week thing is up. So that's where we are. We're at like, what day are we at? Thursday, and this goes up. I usually put it up Sunday night to post Monday morning. Yeah, so we're on Thursday, so we're 4 days ahead. And I thought this was a perfect opportunity to talk about why you should quit smoking. Okay? Everybody on earth. And I get it. I'm going to leave all the coughs and stuff in this one. Maybe not all of them. If there's like a really bad one, I'll cut that out. But the little ones, we're going to leave in because I really want this to hit home as to why you should quit smoking. You see the stuff around my mouth? That's from bronchitis. That happens when I get bronchitis because I get so dry and so, it turns into a rash of a type of eczema on my face. Okay? That's what happens. That's what happens when I get bronchitis. Now you're like, Josie, why do you have bronchitis? Well, there's 2 reasons. So I have seasonal or chronic bronchitis. I don't really get it in the summer, so they call it seasonal. But sometimes I swear I have it in the summer, and there's 2 reasons. So when I was born, I had colic, and then I had croup, and then I had bronchitis a bunch of times when I was a kid too. And it all just kind of continued through my life because of my other issues that we had no idea about, but now it's like all kind of related. Another reason that exasperated it is I smoked for like 15 years, okay? Maybe like 14 years. It was a long time. I started smoking when I was like 14 and maybe 13 actually. I started smoking when I was 13 and all the way up into my late 20s. So yeah, I smoked for a long time and I finally quit, I think 8 years ago now, 9 years ago. I'm 39. So I quit when I was about 30. So I smoked for, 15, 16 years. It also exasperated the chronicness of the bronch. So it just made it so much worse. And I would get so unbelievably sick every single year. It would start right around Halloween when I was younger, and it would last until like after Christmas. And it was so gross, and it was awful, and it was like a constant sick. And of course, like you'd get a sinus infection and stuff like that in the meantime. You know what I mean? Smoking was definitely a big factor of it. And there's no denying that smoking is part of why I am the way I am today. And it sucks. So the pros of smoking, and I get like the stress relief, the weight loss, the like cool, the like the little pals in a pack. You know what I mean? I get all of that stuff. I understand. I was a smoker. I totally get it. And I had tried to quit smoking a couple of times throughout my smoking years. I think I tried like 6 times to quit smoking because I was like, this is expensive. They're going up in price. It's bad for me. And back then, expensive was the big thing. So when I started smoking, they were like $4.75 or $5 a pack or something. And now I think they're close to $20 a pack. Smoking is expensive. Smoking is very expensive. And back then they didn't have vapes. So vape was not a thing. It wasn't something you could just go buy. So there was no such thing as vaping back then. Nowadays there are, and that's a whole other can of worms that like don't vape. Just don't smoke. Just try not to smoke. Even like weed and stuff. I know it's great to smoke weed, but like there's edibles and there's drinks and there's all other ways. There's oils and stuff like that. Smoking is so bad for you in any way, shape, or form. It's just terrible. And you're inhaling things into your lungs that hurt your lungs, and it just Gross. It's just so gross, and it does hurt your lungs. And I know when you're young, especially like me when I was young, I'm like, "Oh, it's never going to happen to me. It's never going to happen to me." So, when I was young, we didn't know about all my other illnesses. And now that we do, it's a totally different story. It's like, "Oh, I wish I would have quit smoking," but hindsight being what it is. When I smoked, the only part about it I didn't like, aside from the cost, was the way I smelled. I didn't like stinking like cigarettes all the time. It was kind of bad. It was kind of gross. And it was like, I don't know what to do with myself anymore. It was just like, eh. So that was part of the reason I quit the first time, was because I didn't like smelling like cigarettes. Like everything smelled like cigarettes. My house smelled like cigarettes. Because I smoked inside, because I lived in an apartment, and we would smoke by the open window, and it was just disgusting. Like, it was so disgusting. And the secondhand smoke was just brutal. And back then, most apartments were smoking or non-smoking. Like, you could pick a smoking floor or a non-smoking floor. Anyway, we're talking about like early 2000s, okay? When I moved out, I think it was 2003. So, no, 2004. I moved out in 2004. My God, that was 20 years ago. Oh, that's gross. Okay, yeah, I moved out 20 years ago. Anyway, aside from that, that was why. And like, my partner smoked, my ex smoked. He smoked more than I smoked, and he smoked pot all the time, and it was really hard to quit. And we tried quitting together, and we tried quitting separate. I managed to quit smoking while we were still together, and it was the 8th or 9th time I tried to quit smoking. The time before that, the longest I'd quit smoking was about 10 months. And it was great. And I started smoking again because we went to Sal's. And it was just a long story, and it's in another podcast. So I started smoking again. And I had to quit again because I went to the doctor because I wasn't feeling good. I was having my bronchitis. I was having all this stuff. They had a bunch of x-rays done. They had a breathing test done. And they're like, "You have borderline emphysema." And I sat in that doctor's office and I was like, holy shit. I walked out of that doctor's office and I threw my cigarettes in the garbage. I said, never again. I quit cold turkey. I just quit. I was like, nope, you have to want to quit smoking, okay? You really have to want to quit smoking. It is so very difficult to try and quit. Whatever your reason is, you have to quit smoking. It's just disgusting. Having that you have borderline emphysema is what cemented it for me. And at the time, I was like 30 years old, and I was like, oh my God, I'm going to die. And I don't want that to happen. So I quit, and I threw those cigarettes out, and I was like, never again. Now, because of all of my smoking, we are 10 years later. I think it was like 28, 29, maybe 30. I don't know. I'm not sure exactly on the age, but let's just say 10 years later. I am sitting here, and now the bronchitis is awful. It's awful. I get it now, like early September, and it'll wax and wane all through fall, and it'll wax and wane all through winter. And then I have it during the spring, off and on, but it's a little less. Now I'm even getting it very mildly in the summer. Chronic bronchitis or seasonal bronchitis are parts of COPD. It's an issue with your respiratory stuff. It's when your bronchial passages get swollen. It's not pneumonia, there isn't fluid in my lungs, but my passages get swollen, and it makes my chest tight, and it makes my voice garbly, and it hurts a lot. As I'm getting older, it's lasting longer, but it's not as severe. Does that make sense? It's just there. And I worry about it. I really do worry about it. Excuse me. Because it's not going to go away. And there's a chance it could get a lot worse. So that's the thing. Smoking is what exasperated this big time. Not just the illness, not just being young and having colic and croup and bronchitis when you're young. It was smoking. It made it so much worse. And the doctors told me that flat out. Like, you should never have smoked, especially with the lung conditions you had. Everybody around me smoked. My mom thinks it was just her, and no, it wasn't. It was like every single person I knew smoked. All of my friends smoked. My friends' parents smoked. Everybody smoked cigarettes. And that's really gross that everybody smoked cigarettes. So I smoked cigarettes. I started smoking. I was like, oh, I'm going to be one of the cool kids. Let's smoke some cigarettes. No, don't be one of the cool kids. Because like I was saying, it's what does this to me. And now I have eczema on my face from the bronchitis, from being so dry and dehydrated from having bronchitis. It screws you up. So when I have bronchitis, I get the eczema on my face. And when I get the eczema on my face, I don't want to be on camera. And when I don't want to be on camera, I don't make money. That's how it works. Like, I make money off of YouTube. I make money off of Instagram and stuff. So like, that's how it works. It causes me to lose out financially. It causes me to lose out socially because I don't want to go anywhere. It makes me feel gross. It makes me tired. It makes my chest hurt. It makes me cough. It makes my voice sound bad. It makes my appearance look bad. It makes me sweat a lot when I sleep, so my hair is constantly greasy no matter how much I wash it. It's like, it's just this overall sense of ick that I wish that I didn't have to deal with. And I really hope that it doesn't last a couple months. I really hope that this one just kind of like passes in a few weeks. You know what I mean? That would be really, really great. But so far, especially the mouth stuff, it's just getting worse. And I don't know what to do about that some days. It's like on top of everything else, it's hard to breathe. And it kind of sucks. It doesn't kind of suck. It really sucks. It being hard to breathe is not fun. You know what I mean? And some people are like, oh, that's you just complaining. Meh. No, I'm not just complaining. Quit smoking. Don't be me. Don't be sitting here at 39 having bronchitis all winter because you smoked cigarettes for so many years. Don't be me. Don't be me. Just quit smoking. Quit smoking now. I don't care how old you are. Just quit smoking now. It's not worth it. It is not worth it to continue smoking, okay? It really isn't. Just stop. Just stop. Your clothes will smell better. You'll feel better. You'll have more money. It's just not worth it. Like, and I know some people like casually smoke, and it's like, okay, that's fine. Casually smoke, or whatever you're smoking for. There's usually always a reason. It's like boredom or loneliness or weight loss or having that addiction. There's always a reason that you smoke. It's not going to go away. That reason will always be there. So I can't say it enough. Just quit smoking. You don't want to sound like this. You don't want to have the little hole in your throat to breathe because you decided that cigarettes were more important. And believe me, it happens. It happens. I am proof that it happens. That you just get bronchitis and you have trouble breathing and your chest is tight and it's gross. And I don't know how many more times I can say it to just quit smoking. It's not worth it. Anywho, those are my reasons for why you should quit smoking. And it's difficult, and I get it. And I hope it's not a health scare that drives you to quit. I hope it's something that you naturally want to do and that you're like, hey, I gotta stop this. I hope that's what happens and as to why you quit smoking. So, yeah. Anyway, that was a short one because I'm out of breath. I'm done. I can feel it. It's like zapped all my energy and it's 15 minutes of talking. You know what I mean? So, that's what it's like to have bronchitis, and the bronchitis is caused by me smoking primarily. So don't. I did it to myself. Anywho, maybe I'll catch you guys next week. I hope I'll catch you guys next week. I'm going to try and record some stuff on days that I feel a little bit better, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Bye.